Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you are all healthy and keeping safe as the country recovers from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. To ensure the safety of our employees, the company remains committed to strict adherence of all COVID-19 SOPs. We have been actively pursuing vaccination for all our employees that stood at 99.8% by the end of the year. Our People Desk facility remains operational and is playing an instrumental role in ensuring the well-being of our employees and their families. Before moving on to the financial performance of the company, I would like to apprise you of significant developments and events in the local fertilizer market that transpired in the last quarter. With the grace of the Almighty, following the trajectory built over last year, the agri sector witnessed robust performance. Improved farm economics during the current year, coupled with the continued availability of domestic urea at a record discount of approximately 84% to international prices, led a 5% growth in urea over the year that stood at 6.3 million tons in 2021 versus 6 million tons in 2020. Domestic urea production stood at almost at par with last year, with a total production of 6.1 million tons with a starting inventory of 275 KT, and therefore it was a balanced market. However, we suspect that overbuying of urea occurred in the August-September timeframe last year, and approximately something in the neighborhood of 100 KT of product was smuggled out of the country. In a balanced market, that led to pocket shortages that has attracted a great deal of media attention, and subsequently the government of Pakistan mobilized very actively to monitor daily dispatches and distribution of urea. This involved the Ministry of Industries, Energy and Food Security, collectively working together hand in glove with the urea producers. This proactive management, I am happy to report, has alleviated the shortage considerably, and in the last few weeks we are seeing urea inventories build up. On the phosphates front, a 2.4x increase in global DAP prices has had an impact on local demand, which on a calendar year basis has shrunk by 13% as compared to last year and stood at 1.9 million tons of DAP consumed in the year 2021. However, the calendar year is not a particularly relevant metric, and we will re-examine this figure when the season ends in the March timeframe. Moving to other key developments in the year. This year, by the grace of the Almighty, we have concluded 3 turnarounds with 0 injuries. I would like to take a minute to really recognize the work of manufacturing that required, where we required turnarounds at each one of our plants, Base, Enven and Zarkhes. And during these turnarounds, over 6,000 contract workers were coming to our site. But we managed them in full-blown COVID with 0 local infection and 0 injuries. And that is a truly creditable activity that took place and an achievement that our manufacturing team can feel really proud of. The only injuries that were recorded were in our e-logistics business, where safety standards are now 10 times better than Pakistan averages. Coming to the business regulatory environment, there has been no progress in the lawsuits filed with respect to GIDC and concessionary gas, non-concessionary gas, and the rectification request to correct the installment period to 60 months. On the tax front, we continued our efforts to support the government in improving the documentation of the economy in the downstream fertilizer value chain, and undertook focused efforts which resulted in bringing the majority of Engro Fertilizers dealers within the sales tax net. During the year, the company engaged with an external expert to carry out an assessment of the useful lives and scrap value of certain items of plant and machinery. Based on an expert assessment, the useful life of these assets and these scrap values has increased and has resulted in a decrease in depreciation charge for the year by rupees 2.5 billion. This will be a recurring benefit going forward. Apart from this change, the company continues to bear the burden of unpaid subsidy and sales tax refunds that has now accumulated to 15.4 billion rupees. I am delighted to share that the Engro Humsafar app, where we transact directly with our dealers through a mobile-enabled system, we were able to book over 100 billion of sales in 2021, and approximately 35% of these sales were settled through the online payment channels that are available through the app. Various interventions for culture development, leadership, and capability development were conducted throughout the year. During 2021, HR conducted various impactful capability development programs, such as the action learning programs, to cater to the organizational but especially millennial needs of autonomy, meaning, and recognition. Diversity continued to be a driving element of our agenda. Our commitment to empower and elevate women received international recognition, as Engro Fertilizers was awarded the first runner-up award at the prestigious UN Women 2021 Asia Pacific WEP Awards in the Leadership Development category. In 2021, EFERT's overall brand perception also improved by 1.3 points, placing us in the first position in the fertilizer industry. I am now pleased to provide an update on the financial performance of Engro Fertilizers Limited for the year ended 31st December 2021. The company's urea production stood at 2.1 million tons versus 2.264 million tons in 2020, 7% lower, mainly because of the turnaround and outages at both plants. However, our sales team delivered a stellar performance and achieved a historic milestone of the highest ever urea sales of 2.295 million tons in 2021, exhibiting an increase of 12% versus last year. Gross profit for the company was recorded at 44.1 billion rupees in 2021 as compared to 34.3 billion in 2020, with gross profit margins growing by 100 basis points. Consequently, I am delighted to report that the company has recorded its highest ever consolidated profit at 21.1 billion rupees versus 18.1 billion in 2020, an improvement of almost 17%. This has led to an EPS for the full year of 15.8 rupees versus 13.6 last year. For the year 2021, the board has proposed a final dividend of 5 rupees a share in addition to the interim dividend of 11.5 rupees per share that had already been paid out for the approval of the shareholders at the annual general meeting to be held on March 22nd, inshallah. As a company, we always endeavor to do good while doing well. On the CSR front, allow me to briefly walk you through some of our community engagements in 2021. On the educational front, at the end of 21, the enrollment at our government schools, wherein the company has taken over the running of schools that were owned and set up by the government, stood at 1,600 plus students, whereas our Kacha school network continues to operate with 1,700 plus students. Our first Kacha girls middle school started operations in Ghazi Chachar with 99 female students. And in 2021, we have opened 2 new Kacha schools in the Ronti area. This area, you will recall, is one that is fraught with law and order issues, but Engro continues to operate and educate the children of this troubled region. On the healthcare front, the Sahara Clinic treated a total of 7,827 patients in 21, while our singular snakebite treatment facility treated a total of 6,039 patients in the year. During the past year, we established a free of cost limb and separate dog bite facility with the coordination of the NRSP. Both facilities were operational and treated 294 beneficiaries in 21. Apart from this, 533 dog bite patients were also treated. You may recall, in this year we ran a prototype whereby not only in our limbs clinic, where we have historically only addressed lower limbs, we ran a pilot program where upper limbs were treated as well. This was developed by the team working to develop an innovative solution working with a startup out of Pakistan. And in the first quarter of this year, we intend to treat almost 100+ patients that have been registered for this program. Under the ambit of the Engro Volunteer Program, the Sahara Clinic organized a free of cost hearing aid camp in Derki. This 5-day camp included free consultation, audiometry testing, medication and digital hearing aids were provided to deserving members of our community. A total of 566 individuals were screened and 126 individuals were fitted with hearing aid devices. On the sustainability front, in pursuit of our Green Pakistan vision, we utilized hundreds of acres of barren land held by the Sindh Forest Department by virtue of an MOU to grow trees in the district Ghotki. Approximately 300,000 trees have been planted so far on 200 acres of land in different areas of our district. As part of the company's sustainability program, under the umbrella of Engro Foundation and in collaboration with the World Wildlife Fund, Pakistan, a long-term project has been initiated to plant and maintain mangroves in Sindh and Balochistan. In phase 1, mangroves will be planted on 300 to 500 acres with the aim to entirely offset the carbon footprint of our commercial division over the next 10 years. In phase 2, we plan to neutralize the carbon footprint of our entire supply chain division. The company's pursuit of excellence was recognized at both national and international forums. Engro Fertilizers won 40 accolades in 2021 due to the commitment, dedication and perseverance of our employees and the continued guidance and support that we received from our board. Some of the major highlights were the following. Engro Fertilizers was titled as the most inclusive organization of Pakistan at the Global Diversity and Inclusion Awards in 2021 by winning awards in 10 categories in which we applied. We were also recognized by the International Fertilizer Association as an Industry Stewardship Champion Award in the category of HSE and Environment. We also won the Corporate Excellence Award as the Best Industrial Company by the Management Association of Pakistan for a second consecutive year. This is a feat that was last achieved 27 years ago. We were recognized as the largest taxpayer in the fertilizer sector by the government of Pakistan and won a similar recognition from the large taxation unit based out of Karachi. Regarding our near-term outlook, global urea prices touched multi-year highs in 2021 due to supply chain bottlenecks, Europe's energy crisis and China's fertilizer export restrictions. In 2022, analysts forecast demand destruction in the key markets of Europe and the Americas due to high prices of nitrogen relative to crop prices, and it is expected that urea prices will soften in global markets. The agricultural sector in Pakistan is expected to maintain its growth trajectory owing to continued government support, improved farm economics and the availability of urea at significantly discounted prices to global levels. DAP demand is expected to remain stable, supported by better farm economics. And going forward, we continue to work very closely with the industry and the government of Pakistan that is looking to formulate a new fertilizer policy in 2022. I thank the Almighty for His blessings and all of you for your unwavering support, which has enabled us to achieve this record success. Thank you.